What's up, guys? It's John at National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into a few things. One of them being, I wanted to go into, of course, I'm going to recap tonight, but the reason I made this video today is because I really want to go into this game. I have a distinct feeling they're going to change the lines. I could be wrong, but since the beginning of the season, I have had a theory that Tua, even if I know they're saying he's out, but don't forget, they can still win the game, and then he would have another week to recover. I've been saying I think Tua is going to get in the playoffs, and he's going to bump the Jets in the final week. The schedule, I don't think it was set up like that on accident. We went over all this, again, on my channel that got wiped. 200 videos, all playoff predictions, and I'll re-upload some of them because it'll be relevant. But essentially, we predicted the first time Tua was going to get fake injured. And again, that's the reason I took the stance I have on DeMar. I can tell a real between a fake injury as somebody who has watched wrestling for 30 years. So it just makes sense when you have Tyreek Hill, who's been calling basically Pat Mahomes garbage, and Pat, who's saying that Tyreek is disposable and we could just plug any fast guy in. I just think it makes much more sense to have Miami versus Kansas City. And then I think they can force some kind of Tua narrative where he does get hurt, and then they can explain that as a reason that he did not succeed. Now, I wanted to go into our night because, again, it was not a great night. I'm the first one to admit it as far as picks. But, again, people that follow the sequence and that's the tail and things like that of nature, they understand. So here we have a few like leg twos that didn't win. We had the Raptors. They didn't win. We lost Tulsa leg 3. I'm going to go into that in a second. We were able to get Magic leg 3, so we split the leg 3s. And a couple leg 1s lost, Knicks, Warriors, Heat. And we were able to get the Hawks. So, again, we got Iowa State as a leg 2. So a lot of sequences closed. And you can see here what I wrote, just going over it. And it essentially goes into what I've been going over for this whole time, that we lost 7 units from that Tulsa loss. It's easy to chase that, but it's just, in some cases, yes, I've done it and it's worked. In other cases, it's just not worth it as far as value. And that's why I try explaining to people. And what's great is people are really starting to understand and use the system, and they're tailing, and it's working, and it's helping them. And speaking of that, it's been very humbling to see that I've inspired people. Our channel's only been back for a week after we were gone for, like I said, only a day, up every day for 3 months, really 6 months, but 3 months of doing just completely exposing Vegas. And it's great to see that this individual, you can see that they made some great picks, and it's great to see that they were inspired by our channel and our movement. And I hope we can keep it growing, because at the end of the day, now this message was for some reason deleted by the individual, as were some others. It was pretty odd, but you can see how their eyes were opened to the betting and how it's rigged and just how easy it is to make money. And so I really think it's great when other people are now learning and they're able to spread the movement. So I really wanted to just take a second to say it's extremely humbling. It's a humbling experience. And again, we've been around just a week now. We're up 69 units, and it's great to see that some people, even with just people that have been doing this such a long time, and that they're looking up to us, and that they are spreading our movement, and that they are tailing us. It just shows, in my opinion, just how good we're going to do this year. I think we can break 1,000 units. If we did, like I said, we're up 300 before we got shut down. And just to show everybody, we restarted the playlist at the 27th. And 69 units. We do have a couple outstanding leg 2s. And going into that, this game right here, I like this spread, and I think we got to get Miami before it changes. Again, I know it might seem obvious, but the public is not thinking, hey, maybe Tua will play, or whatever the case may be, or hey, this, the third stringer will do good. The public is trying to think logically, and they'll probably be thinking they don't play well, they haven't been playing well. We don't, Tua's probably not playing. They don't think it's rigged. And I just think that they are going to pick the Jets. More public's going to be on the Jets. And putting that aside, I don't think that the Dolphins don't make the playoffs. I think the Tyreek Hill versus Mahomes draw is way more important than Patriots, Jets. You could get the Steelers in, but I just don't think any of that makes sense. So yeah, to me, and the way the narrative is being spinned, they're really trying to say, oh no, Tua's got to hang, he's got to quit. That's why I think he plays a game, either in the playoffs, maybe even this game, and then maybe something happens, and they can blame that for the same reason they went after DeMar. So I absolutely love the Dolphins here. I'm going to make it a like 3. And I wanted to get this video out now because there's so much more to it than a lot of people, they think, oh, just double up. And it's not that simple. That's why I have the Discord the way I do, to let people in that really want to spread knowledge and insight, because in that case, what happens is we can put metrics together and things of that nature. But yeah, it just, to me, this Dolphins game, I think the line might change, and it's extremely advantageous to get in on it and in Miami. So I'm going to make that a leg 3. It could be for the Raptors loss today. It could be for any sequence. And again, even if we have about 5 or 6 very college plays that I love tomorrow. With metrics, of course, I'm always going to say that. But in this case, again, they hold, as you can see. We have bad days with college, but overall, if you've been following, especially, again, since our old channel got wiped, you've been following from the beginning, you see our college rate is like 70%. So I love good college metrics. We have 9%ers and things like that, of course, don't always hit. Tulsa didn't hit today. But over time, with the system, with money management, it does work. And again, that's why I go into it in my Discord, just so people can see that it's easy to get annoyed about one sequence. But it's the fact that we're picking up dozens and dozens of sequences, and then we will have this one down here where, and if you've been following along, like I said, I always try and show everything in lifetime. But here we have, I just try and show people that, people might not be excited about a Unit 1 win. They'll be way more excited about the Unit 3 win, or upset about the Unit 3 loss. But it's a numbers game. It's like flipping a coin. That's how I try and describe it. And again, it gets to a point where you won't even want to watch the games, unless you just enjoy watching for entertainment value. But there'll be no point. Because as you can see, as the other individual's eyes were open because of my system, and now he's spreading the gospel, it's great to see that just the metrics, that's the metrics that these handicappers won't put out, that a lot of these other people will not put out, that they're so important. So, yeah, it's not just blindly picking, but in this case, I think the narrative favors the Dolphins. I really wanted to get it out because I just have a feeling, I could be wrong, that they'll find a reason to kind of swing this the other way. Maybe Miami -2 by the time the game starts. And I've been making the mistake of okay, well, why put out the video of the games 2-3 days before? Because the lines could change, but it could also be advantageous. So in this case, I love the line. So I wanted to get it out so people can get it. So it'll be the money line, of course, but I do love it. I'll go into other ones if I find them. Other ones didn't jump out at me. The Seahawks one kind of did, but the Dolphins one has been on my radar for a while. I'm actually shocked that they're not making Miami a favorite and just explaining away because they're at home. So, again, I think public will be, even if public's a little more on Miami, this kind of narrative, I believe, warrants a leg 3. So, yeah, I just wanted to go into that. And then, again, I have been getting people back into the Discord. I simply, again, it's the people that come in and they want to just take picks and then use them or most of them for their own channels, or sell them to other channels, steal ideas, steal whatever the case may be. There's a reason we've been free of charge since we started. It's because we want this to be a movement that everybody can spread and a movement that everybody can learn about, so everybody can do it on their own. That way you guys aren't paying for stuff that you don't have to be paying for. You can just follow the system, and soon enough, there's people on my Discord, the ones that care enough that ask all the questions. They're the ones that are like, hey, I picked this team because I thought you would have it, and I won because of it. And that's the best part, So, like, it's easy to just, kind of follow picks and stuff, and it will work. But I'm hoping people can just learn the overall message here, which is just patience, discipline, money management, metrics. They just never fail over time, and they're all just as important as the other. So in this case, it'd be more value where we're seeing a line that I think is going to flip, and it's a little bit of narratives. I truly believe that there's nothing they're going to do with Mike White if he even plays. I think he will, and it just makes sense that Kansas City, they've been teasing it all year, and they've been teasing these injured players playing when they shouldn't. So it fits so many narratives. So I have Miami. It's going to be a leg 3, of course. I'm going to lock it before it changes. And even if Tua doesn't play, I don't think they lose. I think they find a way to win. And they'll do something in the playoffs with them. They'll probably get steamrolled, but they'll have them in the Chiefs. So I just wanted to go into all that. And as I said, even on a bad day, we did very, very good, in my opinion. Not very good today, but we closed the leg 3, which is always important. We would like to hit them all, but again, I said last night, and I've gone over this in my old channel many, many times, we're never going to close every leg 3. We're going to inevitably run into ones we don't close. What we don't do is double down or get upset. A saying I have is we don't dwell, we do well. It might sound corny, but it's just the way we think, and it's always about positivity. So thank you to everybody that, again, follows the channel, that has been showing just love, support, and especially to the ones that are now spreading the word and using our system and our picks and ideas and our metrics. And we've opened their eyes, and it's going to hopefully help others. That's what really, again, humbles me the most. So I do appreciate everything from everybody. There's been so much love, and I know it's probably frustrating because I feel bad because there's a lot of people that are in the Discord, and I didn't kick a bunch of people out. What happened was when I have to clear to make sure that everything is good, there's a bunch of people that just happened to join when other channels were rating us, whether it be putting out posts or whether it be just coming into the Discord themselves. So that was the reason so many people at the same time aren't in here. So I just set up a feature to make sure that I can personally talk to somebody on YouTube or in general, to make sure they're not just coming from another channel to steal picks. That I can usually tell, and I've been letting people in, one by one. It's always going to be free of charge. The only rule I have is, again, don't steal the picks and then charge. So, it's kind of funny how it's ironic, but we have to let people in that way because on 2 occasions I was like, all right, I'll just let a bunch of people back in, and the same thing happened because I was naive. So we're getting people back in. I really appreciate everybody's patience for, that have been in the Discord, and they might feel like, why was I kicked or whatever the case may be. It's never anything personal. It's just I've moderated dozens and dozens of Discords for crypto, and they can get really, really ugly if you get rated bad, and you want to just kind of tackle them right away. So I know it's been a hot topic, but I wanted to bring that up, just because of the other channels sending people in here and whatnot. But overall, like I said, a great sequence still. For me, it's never ending. I mean, goodness, we are hundreds and hundreds of sequences in, in general. I count everything because, again, I started this on September 24th, but even now in this short period of time to be dozens and dozens of sequences in and up 69 units. As I said, I think we'll be close to the 100 pretty soon, especially with obvious playoffs coming up. But yeah, I appreciate everyone's patience, and as I said, for the people that show support, insight, we have a lot of people in here who do that, and it's really appreciated. And we're gonna keep the movement going. Nothing's gonna stop us. We'll probably get yanked again, but that's okay because There's a reason we're the ones getting yanked. I'll just bring that up, and the others aren't. That's not that hard to overthink. There's a reason. It's when we have just 1,000 we were at as far as people who decided to subscribe. That's not a ridiculous amount of people. So yeah, there's a reason we were the ones that were quickly banned. But you see a lot of the other ones, and with evidence of both all the check marks and 0 copyright strikes, which the other channels can't say. I only say that because, again, we always want to be competing to beat Vegas, not each other. We want to always make sure that the goal at the end of the day is to beat Vegas. So it's just important to make sure that we're always open-minded about what we're looking at and questioning everything in these days, of course. So yeah, I think we finish, as I said, close to 100, probably it could be by the Monday Night Football game. Sunday, we usually clean house because I save a lot of my leg threes for Sunday. But then again, we have a lot of good college basketball games tomorrow. I just want to go over the times they play and things of that nature, because that also dictates what leg I play them as. So there's about 5 of them, just so people know. A lot of people will tell me, I had to put this much in. I didn't know we were doing this many plays. So I have about 5 college basketball plays, and I haven't really looked at the NBA, to be honest. I looked at the Mavericks game, which should be interesting. And as far as the football game, I just love the Dolphins, and I wanted to get it out to you guys before the time changed, because I do think pretty soon that they're going to do something. I think they might they might not make it like the Monday night game, but they're going to do something with it, and they're going to change the line. And I just feel like there's a good chance it could clip a lot of people. So that's a leg 3 that could be plugged in for Raptors. As I said, it doesn't matter which one we plug it in for. Again, even if we just hypothetically, let's just say we lost that already. Let's just be negative Nancy's and say we lost that already. We're still up 62 units, not counting anything we hit in the interim. So that's how we have to look at it. We build buffers, and then, of course, there's going to be times when we have that 7-unit loss. But please don't chase. You can. I'm not going to give you advice, but I'm just going to continue to do what I do. The people that chase immediately message me remorsefully. Even when they wind up winning, they're like, I should not have done that. So... And it's true. I've chased, gone like 4 or 5s, and it's worked sometimes. It's just, from a value standpoint, there's a reason I closed that at 3 legs. So you can do with that what you will. As I said, I want people to learn from the system. I'm very methodical about it, not to be braggadocious, but the one thing that I would say that I'm relatively skilled at is patterns and numbers, and being able to recognize value and percentages. And it's just a goofy thing to be good at, but there's things I'm horrible at. Maybe it's the autism, but that's one of the things I happen to be good at. So I can say with confidence, closing that is the right way to go, and moving on, which is what we're going to do, and closing out the rest of our sequences. As I said, if I see any other real sketchy games, I'll jump into them. Of course, Green Bay is going to be interesting. Of course, I think the Giants-Eagles will be interesting, to be honest. But of course, we're going to have an interesting game here with the Ravens-Bengals. But the Dolphins one just jumped out as a line that might change. So I wanted to get everyone that information in time. That way we can, especially since it's a leg 3. So thank you again for all the support, guys. I don't think you could understand. I didn't think we would go from, again, we're flatlined because they cut us off at the knees, shut us down on Christmas, and we, the first day to now, it just looks like when Elon puts out a tweet about a Doge and it goes up. I mean, that's literally what we are, and that's what we were doing before. It's just now because I didn't think we would bounce back. Even I didn't think we would bounce back quite this quick, and that's all because of everybody that's been showing love. So it's obviously mutual. That's why I'm never going to change. I'm never going to charge. I'm never going to, change anything about what I've been doing. I'm always going to just plug away, grind away, and give out the best picks I can and the best advice I can. So thank you all so much. It really is that I really appreciate and I'm grateful for. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.